Hello there, everyone. Good morning. It's wonderful to have you here with us live on video. Today, I have Wendy Aguila with me here. She is the owner of Compliments Bakehouse, and she bakes and sells cakes and cookies, and she does a great job, and I love seeing her decorations. Beautiful. And basically what she does with her bakehouse is to help people with special occasions, to provide them with various types of really yummy cookies and pies and brownies and chocolate cakes and all sorts of goodies. And so today, I would like to interview her and ask her about her experience with her health and wellness, in particular with her TLS experience. So, Wendy, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Kitty, for having me.
So, how are you doing?
Doing great today. Very happy to be able to be a part of what we're doing today. I think it's a great eye opener for myself as well as for other people today to be able to learn and glean from our experiences.
Yeah, wonderful. All right. Well, first of all, I would like to ask you a question about your health journey, Wendy. I know that you have had some challenges in terms of your experience of your health journey along the way, especially lately with business, with your ministries and stuff. So tell us about them. What are the challenges?
Well, before my health journey began to look after myself, I was in a very busy lifestyle with working, and that was allowing me to stay up really late. Sometimes I wouldn't eat until really late. Plus, I was also hosting a group at my house every fortnight, and just stress was kind of combining. There was a lot happening. I have 4 children, and I think my body wasn't able to cope. Plus, I was just eating when I'd go out with social occasions. I would just eat whatever was on the table, and they weren't always healthy foods. So I
Yes.
ended up putting on quite a bit of weight at that
Mm.
time.
Yes. And would you say that because you own a bakehouse, it's very easy and it's a temptation for you to eat a lot of sweet as well?
Um, I think the bakehouse came about because I actually come from a culture, American culture,
Yes.
United from the United States, where we we eat, we grew up eating sweets, and it wasn't a problem. It was
Yes.
normal actually, and high
Yes.
sugar level was normal.
Yeah.
I grew up. We were rewarded with treats, and
Cool.
but I was always thin. My metabolism was high. I was a runner. I was very fit, so it was never an issue for me
Mhm.
until I went to college, and I did put on a bit of weight. But I think that was just being able to manage a new environment again,
Sure.
maybe a stressful environment again. So the Compliments Bakehouse began out of just a love of baking and
Yes.
also growing up around a lot of sweets. So I think it's more of a cultural thing for me.
Yeah, and I think that is also something that you can do to actually revolutionize the art of baking, because you can actually make it healthy. It doesn't have to be always like sugar, like the sugar that is not healthy. And as I understand that you've been doing a lot of research in improving, the ingredients and stuff. And I think that's amazing, because I know that there's so many bakeries out there. Perhaps the goodies that they provide people may not be the best. So it's something
Oh,
that is actually going to be helping others.
oh, absolutely. And one thing that I've learned through this health journey in the past year or so is that you don't have to necessarily stop what you're eating as such, but we need to change what goes into those products. So I love sweets, I still do, but I can't eat the way I used to because I feel my body, my my palate and my body have changed. So I actually know now when I eat something that is more processed, I can feel that. Whereas now, if I choose something less processed or I create something less processed, I actually feel much better after eating one or two than I was eating 4 and 5 of the more processed products. So
Yes.
yeah, it's amazing.
I know, like once someone's health journey has changed, the palates actually change as well, especially after doing detox and all that. I realized that a lot of my clients tell me the same thing, that they can actually experience the differences. And yeah, so it's amazing that you also have had that change in terms of understanding of the processed food is not as good. And as you mentioned also, that stress is an area where a lot of people don't pay a lot of attention to in terms of their health challenges and their weight management. So when you were actually working so much and being so busy and with 4 kids, of course, it's a lot of work as well. Like even for me, I remember at a time when I was overworked, I was burnt out. Even without kids, I was so stressed to a point that I was so sick. So it's very important for us to handle and to cope with our stress.
Absolutely. I think I would say I've never been challenged in that way before. I grew up in a very calm setting. Um, and I think having 4 children is probably something that has shown me, okay, it is a top level for me.
Yes.
So adding on late nights and yeah, I think just being able to manage your schedule is so key, and knowing yourself. If you can know who you are and what you can and cannot do, it will really be able to allow you to manage that stress and say, look, I need time for myself, or no, this isn't a good time for me, that type of thing.
Wonderful. But I have to say that you're an amazing mom, seeing how you look after your kids, and they're all wonderful, very, very good kids, and very clever as well. And it goes to you and as parents teaching your kids, and you've done a great job as a mom yourself, Wendy.
Oh, thanks, Kitty.
Salute to you. Okay, so number 2, I have to ask you this question, because I understand that you are pretty good at doing your exercise program and quite disciplined at that as well, because you always encourage us, in your friendship circle to perhaps go to the gym with you and doing some exercise. So how has your exercise program evolved in terms of, the kind of workout that you've been able to do or not being able to do in the past?
Yeah, last year, my husband and I were both overweight by 14 kilos. We just, we had put on that weight through different stressful situations. And I was trying to work out at that time, and I was doing a bit of cardio, and my chest was like so heavy, and I thought, okay, well, I'm working out, but I just felt like I'm going to get anywhere with this. So I would go to the gym, and I would do a little bit of treadmill work and do some things at home here. But really, it was an effort.
Yes.
It was like going up a mountain, And I think that's very normal when you want to start anything.
Yes.
I was at the gym, and I would meet with a couple of girlfriends, and I remember telling them, oh, I'm so bad at my cardio now, and I'm having some other issues physically. And they're like, don't worry, just keep at it. We remember when we had that problem. And I thought, okay, thank you. I gleaned from that encouragement, and
Yes.
so I think baby steps are important. I think anytime when you're starting, it's just step it out. I know it is difficult, and
Yes.
your breathing might be right, and you might have other problems
Yeah.
I don't want to mention, but it's just like, got to start somewhere.
Yes. Yeah, like I find that too. Like when I started running, my lung capacity was so little, like I've been puffing. And then the more I started training to run, then my lung capacity, started to improve. And it's the same with any kind of heavy cardio work. And I have to admit that I need to go back to do more in order to improve my lung capacity again. But it's true, like with anything, it's not just exercise program, but any kind of program, that we involve with. Yeah.
We did. We started Body Pump because actually you encouraged me to do Body Pump because you
Yes.
said we needed to gain muscle mass, and so I said, okay, I've never done that before. So I started actually joining these girls, which were also part of my circle of friends.
Yes.
And amazingly enough, they encouraged me, they helped me. I mean, I was weak as could be, to be honest. I mean, I was good in some areas, but other areas I was struggling. But little by little and week by week, you see yourself getting stronger. And, of course, I was doing the program that you put us on, and, the weight was coming off. So things just got easier. I think it's like with anything. Once you step in, you step out and you don't know what you're doing even, but slowly it will begin to work for you.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure. Like with Body Pump is amazing, like in terms of muscle improvement, but also like HIIT, high intensity interval training. My husband did that because he didn't have the luxury of the time to go to the gym to do Body Pump or anything like that. So he basically just did it at home, and even with using his own body weight, he was able to improve his muscle mass, which is also very good. So I always say to my clients and my friends that if you need to improve in different areas, all you need to do is really look at your personalized areas, whether it's whether you can actually go to the gym or not, it doesn't matter. Like you can do things personalized way. So that's why when it comes to the program that you and I are now part of, Wendy, called TLS, it's very personalized, customized program where people can actually do any type of exercise program as long as we have a well balance of cardio, strength-based, and flexibility. Then it works. Whether you do it at home, you do it outdoor, you do it in the gym, you do it, in a boot camp setting, in a park, it works. So that's why it's so amazing. So tell me, Wendy, when you were first introduced to the TLS program by me and started the coaching journey, what has been the highlight of the experience?
Gosh, there's so much. Well, to begin with, the reason I started joining the program was simply because you introduced me to the supplement vitamin B. And at that time, because I told you my energy and my stress was high, my energy was low, I was feeling, I was just tired. And
yes,
I would feel tired in the middle of the day, particularly, especially as a mom. And that's what got me interested, because there was a supplement out there that actually made me feel good, not for a short period of time, but all day. And I thought, wow, I'm totally going to try this out. So for me, that was number one, the supplements. Number two was the fact that it was a program that my husband and I could do it together.
Yes.
And we both agreed it was a food-based system where we're changing something that we can change, which is our diet.
Yes.
And sorry, Kaylin's just
hello,
helping me out here with my.
It's all right. Hello. It's school holiday time, so it's good to have the kids at home. I've got my nephew here as well. Actually, I'm looking after my nephew for my brother.
Oh, beautiful.
Well, he's
my tech guy.
Yeah.
Kaylin's good with. So the food-based, the food change was quite something simple. It wasn't like we had to go out and buy a bunch of stuff. We could just change our eating plan. And I think that was really interesting. It was fun. It was challenging, but it was so fun because we got to do something together and see how it went. And then, of course, the exciting bit was the first week, because here it was the first week, and we were able to see results straight away. And I was like impressed, very impressed, and not just impressed, but very motivated. I think for someone who's overweight, and you've been overweight for a little while, and you think, oh well, that's just it, or you just kind of not accept it, but you just sit in it. To see results that quick was, I'm like, oh wow, hey, we're going in the right direction, and we're going to get this weight off. So for me, it was just such a motivator and very encouraging.
And did you find the actual knowledge helped you as well, the education side of the coaching?
Well, Nino and I joined at that time. We did the Facebook group.
Yes.
So the fact that we were able to have peer support was the major thing there. I think if we didn't have that, plus my husband, so I did the peer support group, but I was also doing Dr. Carolyn Leaf brain detox. Really supported me personally because I knew I was joining into something new. That
hello, Ellie. How are you?
Oh, something new, and
you've got the
and, got you. And it's difficult, like with anything new that you start. So Dr. Carolyn Leaf's brain detox just helped me to put in that knowledge that I needed every single day to persevere. And she has a little bit of a blog and something that you personally take away with for the day. So that was really huge to hurdle the 21-day hump. I think particularly maybe even the first 7 days. First hump of because where the change is happening. So and the posts from other people on Facebook was really encouraging.
I find that it's very important as we're going through detox. It's not just body detox, but brain detox. So that's why the 21-day challenge with the TLS body detox coupled with Dr. Leaf's, brain detox is such a great combination. And I loved it because when I did my 21-day brain detox was on its own, separately from my body detox. So when Wendy told me that you did it together, and I thought, wow, what a brilliant idea. It's just a no-brainer if you're able to do them both together. Both of them, are challenges for 21 days. It actually would help with the results, and your results speak for itself. And well, TLS is the 4 pillars that we talked about, right? The nutrition side of things, which is the menu plan that you talked about, and you've actually done it really well in terms of the 4 areas. And the second part is the body composition, which is the exercise part component when it comes to the second and third week of the TLS 21-day program, which is the fat burning, which you'll need to do exercise. And then the third component is your mindset and the scientific supplementations. And it's so true that, the supplementation really helps in terms of the detox, in terms of the nutrition shakes. And the shakes fill you up as well, and that will help you with the snack. And we always say that you're not to eat less, but you need to eat protein and fiber in every meal.
There is a lot of knowledge just through the actual TLS kit. I think the mere fact that they give you a plan to follow is fantastic because you know exactly what you need to be doing at the moment every single day. So it's a guide, and it just helps you to go, okay, everything's there like for you, so you know exactly what you need to do. For me, the mind battle is great because you are doing something physically challenging. So I think if you can combat your mental battle, like you said, changing your mind at the same time, it gives you a greater impact.
Yes, exactly. And we always say, 30%, 70%, 30% is about exercise, 70% is about your, your food and your meal plan, nutrition, and low GI and all that. But I would even say, according to one of my TLS trainers, it's actually, within the 70%, the mindset side of things is like, 50, and then the other 50 is only the rest of it. So basically, if your mindset is not there, it doesn't matter you do exercise 7 days a week or that you think that you're actually eating healthy, you will actually fall back. It's very easy for people. I've seen many clients of mine, maybe in the beginning of their journey, of their health journey, they may be able to do quite well, but then because of, the mentality, the mindset, it's not there for them to sustain that healthy lifestyle, they go backwards. And when they go backwards, they fall off the wagon. And some people don't even want to come back up. And so that's why for us to sustain that, we need to have the mindset and the reason why we want to be healthy. It's not just for ourselves, but for our kids, for our family, for our community, for the service of others, of service of, our calling. So behavior modification is what counts. So from that perspective, what do you think, lifestyle change and behavior modification is so important? Why do you think it's so important around wealth and healthy, in terms of your growth?
Yeah. I think, like you said, you have to have a why. There's, I've been following a few groups now that have gone through a lot of weight loss changes, or maybe they themselves are health coaches, and they've posted quite a few experiences, and I love it because you can see where people came to a point where they were just fed up. They just had enough of the way they were living. Maybe there was a circumstance in their life where they just couldn't physically cope with the normal day-to-day things, and they've just had enough.
Yes.
I think it's the same. Something external will push you, or something internal will push you. But either way, great motivator. It's hard to do anything, I think, if you don't want to do it.
Exactly.
So I would say to those people, don't do it. Just wait till you're ready. And my husband has said that too. He said, it's not worth it for you. It's not worth it for us, because you have to want to do it to see the results. It's a mutual yes from both parties help, but you also have to be saying, yes, I want this,
Yeah, I say to people who come to me and say, oh, I want to be losing weight, I want to be healthy, but I don't want to do this, and that. Then I say, well, you've got to meet me at least halfway. And if you're not willing, then wait until you're ready. In the meantime, I'm here to support you, but going on to the program will not help you if you're not going to be following the system. So it's very important. That's why the mindset and that is important.
Timing is everything in life. I have found that.
Yes.
There's a verse in the Bible that says, God makes everything beautiful in his time. It might not be when it is your time, you'll know, and you'll be ready. And we're here for people who are ready to do
exactly.
That.
And
I just want to comment.
There's a season for everything. There is time for every activity. Yeah.
Yes. That's great. Yeah. And I also want to add to what we were talking about with the brain detox. The brain detox with Dr. Carolyn Leaf is also a spiritual, it's a spiritual walk. So you're not only changing your brain, but you're also able to hear that still small voice inside of you. And my faith is Christian. I'm a believer in God, and I'm able to hear God very clearly what he's telling me for that day. And it's amazing how what he says will line up with what I'm doing. It might not be specifically, but it will be something that will encourage me that day to say, choose this, or you can do it, or anything like that. And I think when you've got an internal voice telling you something positive and encouraging about yourself, you're going to overcome in probably compounded ways than you would even if you just thought good thoughts about yourself. But when you hear something inside so positive, you will be able to transform on the outside.
Totally agree, because I've written in my book, Juggling Health and Wealth, Total Wellness. One of it is the integration of all the different areas of health, and spiritual health is an important part of it. I personally believe that has to come number one, in fact, before everything else. So that's why, your spiritual wellness, your well-being, like what Dr. Caroline Leaf teaches in terms of connecting with your inner voice, the voice of the Holy Spirit, to teach you about what you need to listen to, then you'll be able to work on, your physical health. Because a lot of times I know that people are able to do the things that are necessary for them to, let's say, manage their weight and or to do exercise to be fit and all that, because of that inner still voice, that whisper that they hear, and they know that their body is really the temple, very important to look after. So spiritual health is a very important part of the overall holistic health.
Yeah, we believe in the Word of God, and the Bible teaches us how powerful this Word is. And I think it's that extra push, that extra power, the extra motivation to say, oh, yes, this is why I'm doing it. Yeah.
Okay, so you and your husband actually did a program last winter around this time, right? Called Feel Great in 8. And you mentioned it a little while ago just now that it was on a Facebook group. And what were the results that you achieved? I know that we also did what we call the biggest loser, right? And I know that your husband Nino became the biggest gainer as a result of that. Tell us about that experience before we close today's interview.
Oh, that was so motivating. I think that was very fun, actually. I'm glad we did that, and I hope that we'll have some more of those.
Yeah, we're having another one coming up, so.
We had a financial reward, so that, it made it a bit fun, and if you won some money. So for my husband, being a male, he's very competitive, and I think men enjoy that more than anything. Some women, I'm sure, do too, but yeah, it really helped him to go for it. And he's the type of person, if you put him in a competition, he wants to win. So sorry to Alf out there.
Well, Elf did a good job too, but Nino did an amazing job. I mean, I think it's not so much only just about the competition. He was very disciplined and he really followed everything, right? He went to the gym and he ate healthy, and he's got a really good and strong mindset too. And no doubt, as a result of you supporting him together as a couple, that also is very helpful. I know for a fact that when I supported Derek with his works competition, he won as well. So both you and I as wives were able to support our husbands.
Yeah, it's a real interesting when you're a husband and wife doing it together. It's such an encouragement because you both are losing at the same time, and you are eating the same foods together. I think for us, it really brought us together. It brought us something, was a mutual thing that we were doing in our lives, apart from our other lives are so busy and separate sometimes.
Right.
But it was something that we could do together and encourage each other. And so, and I think through that, we both have agreed. That's why we decided we really want to go ahead and help other people, because we've seen the results ourselves, and it was such joy, the results. So
So while we're talking about this, Wendy and I are going to be participating again to help others with the same thing this year, which is another TLS Feel Great in 8 online challenge event, which will be starting on the 17th of July, which is only 2 Mondays away. So what we would like to do is to invite you, all of you, Wendy's friends, my friends, and people that are actually watching this video right now. Doesn't matter whether you're in Melbourne or overseas or in other states, because we do all of this actually online, and we'll be doing it in a private Facebook group, as well as a weekly webinar like this one, so that if we have any questions, we can ask each other, but also peer support, as Wendy alluded to already, is so motivating to be able to have peer mentoring and support, not just your coach. So we'll be starting from the 17th of July to the 11th of September. So that will actually go towards springtime of Australia. So for those of you in the States or other parts of the world, then it will be winter, right? Spring, it will be spring, yes. Oh. Autumn or fall, So basically, so we would like to encourage you to join us. And I know that there's quite a few. I'm just looking at my Facebook invite page. We've got 8 people that have already signed up to join us, but we would love to have a lot more. But let me just quickly explain to you how that works. If you or you know anyone who want to feel great in 8 weeks and to manage your weight with detox and fat burning, and we will also have 5 weeks after the first initial 3 weeks of the 21 days components of customized menu plan, nutritional needs, and exercise based on your weight management program. So all of us will have actually a profile that we can actually help you individually, and based on that we will get those of you who are interested in participating in the Biggest Loser, like the one that Nino won. And all you need to do is only pay $50 to enter the Biggest Loser competition. And we'll add the participants to this group, and for all the accountability, support, recipes, motivation, and mentorship from each other. And when you pay that $50 entry, you'll be able to get all of this online coaching, the Facebook group, the menu, the exercise plans, all of it. And towards the end, obviously, we will be measuring your weight, and then the highest percentage weight loss, the person will win cash and or product baskets based on the participants. So this is actually a nutshell. If you want to know more, we've already created a Facebook event that you can take a look at, and I'll post it below our video here. So Wendy, do you want to say something about that before we close our video today?
Well, we look to seeing new people join us. I think it's a great opportunity. We would like to encourage you to take a photo of yourself before you start, and put down how much you're weighing, especially if you're not with us, but you're from somewhere else. Yep. Put down how much you're weighing, and we'll be able to judge that over the 8 weeks and see who's the biggest loser or the greatest in 8.
Yeah, the greatest in 8, because in 8 weeks you'll be the greatest person who will win the competition. So it's good.
Cash prize.
Whether you decide to go for that competition or not, it doesn't matter. Obviously, if you do want to go for that, it makes it more fun and exciting. But our ultimate goal really is to want to help people to become healthier, fitter, and have that total wellness. And in at the process of it, we also have some really lovely social connection, which is another part of health. We need to have social health. Just like Wendy and I, we've become so much closer as friends as a result of doing this together, and that's been such a blessing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And definitely. Ellie too. Hey, Ellie. It's so much fun to have you on this call. And so have a good day, girls, and I will see you sometime.
Thanks for having us. Bye.
Bye-bye.